Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle, and you can probably tell by the title what this video is about. You probably heard the news already. And so just because of the nature of this video, I'm not going to talk about anything else except for this specific subject, which is that Kobe Bryant at the age of 41 has passed away in a helicopter accident. And also with him was his 13-year-old daughter. She died too. And it is a tragedy. It's always a tragedy when people die, but the loss of Kobe Bryant is huge for any sports fan, especially someone like me who grew up in this decade. I started watching sports in the 90s, shortly before Kobe was introduced to the league. So I barely know a world where Kobe doesn't exist. And I hated him. I have hated Kobe pretty much my entire life. I've spent more than 2 decades despising his very existence, which is why it came as such a shock that I was, so saddened by this. And I did shed a few tears. It was so sudden for one, and also, no matter what you might have felt personally about Kobe, it's definitely for sure he's had a huge impact on the world of sports. And I only hated him because of how much I feared him. He was such a difficult opponent. I considered him one of the horsemen of the apocalypse. He's someone that I never looked forward to playing against him because it would always be a battle and so many heart attacks, so much hair pulled out. But beating him was always so rewarding because it was always a worthwhile victory. You know that you come out of that knowing that you earned that win. And despite all the hatred I have felt for him over the years, I respected him. I hated him because of how skilled of a player he was. Because throughout my teenage years, even with all of the girls who have rejected me through middle school and high school, they still only cause me half as much heartache as Kobe has. He was a hell of a competitor, and I respected him as a basketball player and as a man. Was he a perfect man? No. None of us are perfect people. We have all made mistakes. But I respect the man that he grew to become. Because I remember young Kobe was very arrogant, self-assured prick. Could not stand that guy. But he grew to be a really good man who cared about others, who cared about making the world a better place. He gave back to his communities. He gave back to black people everywhere. He worked hard to usher the game in for the new generation, to make it easier for all the young ones coming up, tutoring a lot of the young people, willing to share his knowledge and experience with the world. And it's like I said, it's hard for me. I had very little life to live before Kobe was drafted, so it's hard for me to imagine a world where he's not around. And even more so still, he leaves behind a wife and another child. Someone lost a husband and a father, and she lost her husband and her daughter. And there's no amount of condolences or prayers I can offer that will take away that pain. So I just wanted to say, to everyone who knew him and loved him, I'm sorry for what you're experiencing right now. Because I'm in pain from hearing the news. And this is coming from someone who has spent the last 2 decades hating him. And I am saddened by the loss. So I can only imagine someone who has spent the last 2-3 decades, loving him, and what they must be going through right now. It is truly a tragedy in every sense of the word. And I just wanted to make that clear that no matter what anyone else, no matter what anyone's personal feelings might be towards him, it is a tragedy anytime that someone loses someone that they love. And a lot of people have lost someone that they truly cherished today. So, my condolences to everyone who's feeling pain right now. Kobe, rest in peace. Hope you're in heaven smiling down. And once again, I may not have liked you, may not have wanted to be your friend, but you always had my respect. I just wanted to say that.